The phone guy is the most mysterious, unknown, creepy character in the Five Nights at Freddy's series, which we know nothing about apart from the phone calls we receive in both games. In this video, guys, I want to talk to you about why the phone guy is so suspicious in both games, and why we feel that he actually plays a larger role to something to do with the murders rather than just being the typical phone guy. First of all, both phone calls refer to you having a summer job, but as we know, when we complete the game on both games, we get a paycheck in the middle of November. So we still don't know what this is about. We know that in Five Nights at Freddy's 1 it is a pre-recorded message, but then again, if we're working in November and Phone Guy states he worked before us, that wouldn't be that long. The same with Five Nights at Freddy's 2, guys. He says it's a summer job, yet we're working in the middle of November, and apparently Five Nights at Freddy's 2 pizzeria was only open for a few short weeks. If this is in summer, guys, a few short weeks is not months and months. One of the main concepts about Phone Guy is that he knows everything about the pizzerias. He knows everything about the animatronics, and he also knows everything about how to keep them away from your office, which he advises the night guard to do. Which again, it's really suspicious, guys, how the phone guy knows everything about this. How would he know to keep the animatronics away if he hasn't been a night guard yet? In Five Nights at Freddy's 2, he explains to flash the lights at Foxy, or to wind up the music box, or to check the vents and the cameras. He knows everything about it, yet he hasn't been a night guard. We also learn from Five Nights at Freddy's 2, because it is a prequel, we know that the phone guy has been in Five Nights at Freddy's 2 pizzeria and Five Nights at Freddy's 1 pizzeria. Not only that, the phone guy states that he used to be in the one before Five Nights at Freddy's 2 pizzeria, where Bonnie, Chica, Foxy and Freddy were all at an older location, and they were disemparted and put into the scrap room, and their parts were put into the toy animatronic. So we know by now that the phone guy has been in at least 3 of the pizzerias. He also talks about the older management at Fredbear's Diner, so he knows about that as well. This means that Phone Guy knows a lot about the history of the place. He knows a lot about everything. He also talks about the older animatronics having an odour, which again is weird. It might be about the dead children murders happening before Five Nights at Freddy's 2, and more murders happening in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, and then more happening in Five Nights at Freddy's 1. Continuous murders. The thing is, guys, if Phone Guy knew about this, which he would do, if he's been in Five Nights at Freddy's 2 and he knows about the bite of 87 and he knows about the murders, yet he comes back in Five Nights at Freddy's 1, why is he still there? If I worked at that place and I heard about murders and animatronics trying to kill the night guards, I would run a mile away, 10 million miles away from that place. But Phone Guy remains there. Another mysterious thing about Phone Guy is that he always warns about death and hiding people's death as well. In Five Nights at Freddy's 1, he states that if a missing person report will be filed within 90 days, or as soon as property and premises have been thoroughly cleaned and bleached and the carpets have been replaced. Which means if somebody dies in the pizzeria, they don't file a missing persons report when somebody's missing, if you don't get what that means. They don't file the report for 3 months, guys. 3 whole months. And in that time, they scrub the place, they remove the carpets so they don't look like that they've caused that murder. One really mysterious thing, guys, which some of you may have not noticed, which mind-boggled me, is that in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, it is a prequel, and the Phone Guy states how much he adores Foxy. We know that Phone Guy's favourite animatronic and character is Foxy. He loves him to bits. Yet, in Five Nights at Freddy's 1, he states, Also, check on the curtain in Pirate Cove from time to time. The character in there seems unique in that he becomes more active if the cameras remain off for long periods of time. I guess he doesn't like being watched. I don't know. See what I'm trying to say, guys? He doesn't refer him to Foxy the Pirate. He doesn't say that Foxy's his favourite character. He seems off of Foxy, which is strange. It used to be his favourite character, but now it's not in Five Nights at Freddy's 1. What does this mean? Another mysterious concept about Phone Guy is Night 3 in Five Nights at Freddy's 1, when he states, most people don't last this long. I mean, you know, they usually move on to other things by now. I'm not implying that they died. That's not what I meant. See what I'm trying to say, guys? I think that we're just a typical night guard and other night guards have been here before and they have witnessed the fate of being stuffed into animatronic costumes. Which Phone Guy knows about, but he doesn't tell us. More evidence to back these suspicions about this being just more night guards being stuffed into the suits or heads is that in Night 4 is that Phone Guy states, I'm going to try and hold out until someone checks. Maybe it won't be so bad. I always wondered what was in all of those empty heads back there. And if you remember, guys, there was a parts room in Five Nights at Freddy's 1 with loads of heads on the shelves. And there was an Easter egg where the heads actually looked at the cameras. Could these be souls of the old night guards who have suffered the fate of death by these lovely animatronics? To finish off for Five Nights at Freddy's 1, the last phone call is that the animatronics actually hack into the phone calls and say the demonic chime about the joy of creation laboratory experiments. Don't you find this weird? How the animatronics can hack into the phone system to talk to us? If it was the Phone Guy, is there a connectivity between the Phone Guy and the animatronics? I think there definitely is. The final suspicions I've got for Phone Guy is in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, when he states on Night 6 that, oh, what on earth are you doing there? Didn't you get the memo? The place is closed down for at least a while. And he talks about the suit being stolen. But this is the thing, guys. He states that the pizzeria is going to be closed down for a while. Yet, he states that there's going to be a birthday party the next day. If it was closed down for a while because of this murder investigation or whatever's going on at that place, why would there be a birthday the next day? It doesn't make any sense. All of these phone calls seem to be jumbled up, mashed together, to me, for Five Nights at Freddy's 2 anyway. He talks about places being closed down, but they're open again. You don't get the memo. It's closing down. There's a birthday party the next day. It doesn't make any sense. So what is Phone Guy trying to do to us? And finally, we all saw this coming about the suspicions about Phone Guy. In the death minigames, there is a rare occasion where you're playing as Freddy, following the marionette into the box. Phone Guy appears. You can hear the the sound saying save them, save them, save them in the robotic voice. Sometimes you see Phone Guy scurry across attacking you, and at the bottom left screen it says you can't save them, you can't. Phone Guy. It looks very similar to Phone Guy. It's holding a phone. It's got the night badge. You see what I'm trying to say here? Leading on to that the Phone Guy is purple, we also see that the murderer is purple as well. So the Phone Guy looks like he's got some contribution to the murders. I'm not saying that he is the murderer. Maybe he worked with a murderer. It could be any of those guys. Also, Scott refers to purple in a lot of things. One of the most recent ones on his teaser picture, it says he always does in purple, and we always think that the purple's linked with the murderer, and purple can also be linked with Phone Guy as well. So there you go, guys. I hope this has interested you more about Phone Guy, about his suspicions. I have added some weird suspicions, what some of you may have not noticed before, about everything being mixed up and stuff like that. One of the main things what I thought was good was when he says how much he likes Foxy and it's his favourite character. But then in Five Nights at Freddy's 1, he doesn't know what it is. He just doesn't even name it Foxy the Pirate. He doesn't even say that it's his favourite. He doesn't get excited by it. You know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I think Phone Guy is going to play... we're going to get some more clues about Phone Guy in Five Nights at Freddy's 3. As the people of Five Nights at Freddy's 3, Fazbear's Fright, know a lot about the story, which we don't know about yet. So maybe there might be some clues from that attraction to tell us about the murder in more depths, and maybe some more facts about the Phone Guy. We're gonna have to wait and see, guys. So lots of love. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next time.